And welcome back. And of course, it is Protea Friday, but of course, focusing here on Morning Live on development sport, sport in schools and what we can do as well with the help of our sponsors to assist in that regard.
Absolutely. All right. So I know SK is going to be moving off to a school today. So it's going to be a happy occasion to go and hand out some of these things you see here on the set, the balls and the bats and all of these wonderful things we use as perhaps decorations, but when you actually take them to a school, it can change someone's life.
And it's proper stuff.
Beautiful.
So someone's going to be very lucky to have that to play with.
So nice. So nice. All right, let's get into the regulars now. And we're asking you this morning, here's our question of the day. All right, let's pop it up there on screen. And there we go. Okay, so research has shown that sport and physical education is essential for the physical, mental and social development of children and adolescents. How can we as a society do more to empower youth in sport? There you go. There's your question.
And it's a very important one, because given all the scourges that we see in our communities, sport is a very important diversion for so many young people, not just to deter them from wrongdoing, but also just for holistic development.
Very much
so. This is what we should do more of. You know how we used to have physical education, PE in school? I don't know what's happened to that. And maybe we need to get back to that sort of basic, where you had to bring your kit, because it would be physical education. So we need to get back to that.
Look, I must say, my kids it's very much so like that at the school they attend. I mean, it is compulsory. And they make them physical education, they're doing PT, they've got to do X amount of sports, they've got to be on the field. And that for me makes me happy. When I see my kids coming home sweaty after a sporting day out, doing something healthy and putting their mind to that kind of activity, I'm happy. No matter how good or bad they are, doesn't matter to me.
They need to
be the worst, they can be the best, but they need to have that.
They need to do something. I remember my principal in school insisted that every child had to do something. So it had to be reflected on the class list.
Absolutely.
That you were doing something. And I think that is so important. But also parental involvement in all of this. If you are available, given the high unemployment rates, etc., if you are available, go and cheer your children on.
Go help out at school. I promise you, schools they love that help. Anyway, all right. So that's the question. The WhatsApp line, just in case you've forgotten the number, let's just tell you again: 078-459-1897. That's where you can get hold of us. All right. So that's that. Let's get to the trending topics now.
Indeed. Oh, first up, #Gareth Cliff.
Gareth.
So. Maybe we can pull it up if we have it, in terms of why Gareth Cliff is trending. He actually put up a picture of Minister of International Relations, Naledi Pandor. And she's wearing a hijab in this picture. And he essentially says, if this is the best you can do for Halloween, dress up like a turd, is what he said. And, as you can imagine, the fallout from that has been immense.
I'm sorry we don't have the photograph, because I mean there's nothing offensive about the photograph. It's a perfectly fine photograph, but unfortunately Gareth took it to another level and put it on his stories. However, having said that, he's not apologetic. He's just, and I think it was picked up by a lot of people, put on social media and said, this is wrong. This is all kinds of wrong. You shouldn't be saying things like this. But Gareth has come out and said, I will comment on what I want to. And
some would say this is true to form for Gareth Cliff. But, it of course is just, I don't know, if you don't see the wrong in it, there's only so much we can do for you as a human being.
Well, here's the picture. Here's the picture.
How you roll.
So that's it. I mean, it's just a simple photograph, but it just followed with a terrible comment that he made. He put it on his Instagram stories, and then of course that was captured. And the actual caption was, when the best you can come up with for Halloween is to dress up as a turd, exactly as you say. That was what it was, and it drew a lot of backlash. And especially, I think it really was brought to the fore by the department spokesperson, Clayson Monyela. He posted it and then just said, it's awful. He said, this is an attack. If you meant this as an attack on Dr. Pandor, you missed it. It tells us more about you. I won't bother attaching the obvious labels. You're a miserable soul. That's what you are.
Yeah.
And that's what
many have
Clayson
called him
said.
misogynistic. The racist label also came out, and many have said that this, of course, is also an insult to all hijabi women who wear the hijab. So.
Yeah. He's offended a lot of people on the way.
He certainly has.
Here's his response, if you're interested in hearing. This is what he said. I'm only getting started. He said, Cliff responded to the outcry, labeling everyone hypocrites. People are very stupid. The ones who get upset when I say John Steenhuisen needs to lose weight if he wants votes are different from the ones who get upset when I call Joe Biden a cadaver. And those are different from the ones who get cross when I talk about Naledi Pandor. They're all hypocrites. So that's what he's had to say. And he says, I don't care if you're upset. End of story.
Okay.
So he's referring to the election, saying, those are your problems to deal with. I'm not required to be polite or tiptoe around your emotional fragility. As 2024 rolls around, expect me to care even less. So there we go. Okay, elections around the corner. You can just imagine what's going to come out.
Who cares?
Okay.
Moving straight along. All right, the next one is hashtag Mtunzi Ndwaba.
Sure. This one is, this one's getting heated, I must say. I mean, we've just been seeing 2 cases laid against him. So obviously what's happened is Mtunzi Ndwaba has alleged bribery and corruption, and this particularly involving the Secretary General Fikile Mbalula of the ANC and also Enoch Godongwana. So both of them have now opened cases at police stations against them. The lawyers have put letters out, and Mtunzi's still saying no, he's sticking by it, and I think he's wanting to drop more and more files. And then an interview he was scheduled to be on was cancelled, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was on Kaya FM, and they were saying they cancelled the interview. He wanted to say more, but that was a development that happened yesterday. Did I miss anything else?
As I grab popcorn and wait for this to unfold.
Okay, all right, there we go. So that was that saga that was unfolding, and that's why he is trending.
Yeah. Next one, hashtag, and that's hashtag South Africans. Now, South Africans, and one of the reasons around this one was of a soldier. Now, there's a guy who seems to be in his army fatigues and seemingly, or according to what he's saying, is fighting with the Israeli Defense Force. And so
he has dual citizenship, so he's got South African and Israeli. And so he was called up now, as all Israelis were, as we know, called up to go to the front lines and fight. And he obviously went, he's there, and he filmed a video. I'm not sure if we've got that video. Do we have it to play? Oh gosh, okay, we're sorry. We're not working together on the trends. Terribly sorry. So we have that video. We were hoping to play it for you. So nothing dramatic about the video. He is South African, clearly. He's standing in Israel with a flag behind him and saying that he's going up fighting for his country, and he's there. However, it's caused a lot of outcry in terms of asking
about the issue of dual citizenship, because you're not allowed to go fight in another army in a conflict as a South African. But then the main question now hinges on the dual citizenship.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens if this one actually goes to the courts.
Yeah, because if it does,
because there are many South Africans with dual citizenship. Yeah. And how this is going to impact on them.
It is, and I suppose how do you sort of, if you are a citizen of both countries, how do you change? I mean, there are laws that you abide by each country. Which one do you abide by, being a dual citizen?
Must be nice.
Tough.
Some of us only have South Africa to go by. That's it.
Keep it simple.
There's no choice in between of where you go to fight. You fight here. This is it.
So,
but
next
it's going to be interesting to see how the courts resolve this particular matter.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough one.
But then the last one, Lyall, and this is Lyall Foster. And boy, my heart went out for Lyall Foster. He, of course, a South African player, now plays for Burnley in the English Premier League. And Lyall, he's been at the top of his game. He's a regular starter for Burnley. He's been scoring goals. He's been called up for Bafana. And then, incidentally, I thought he received a red card a few games ago. And then, coming back, I was wondering, where is Lyall? Because I have him in my fantasy league team and, couldn't play him because he wasn't available. And then the the club released a statement about Lyall, and he's dealing with mental health issues at the moment, and they stand behind him, and his family obviously is there around him taking care of him. And I must just say, I think I speak for all of us in wishing Lyall well in dealing with this, and we want to see him back. We want to see him playing again.
Absolutely.
So good luck, Lyall. Good luck to the family, and our love and prayers to you.
Very much so, yeah, very much so. Just reading, he's currently in the care of specialists, giving him the support and care he needs to help him back to full health. So yeah, indeed, sharing your sentiments there, SK, on that.
Indeed.